Welcome to the Auburn Medical Group YouTube live stream, the entertaining medical live stream where viewers can ask real-time questions of real medical doctors. And here are our hosts, Dr. Mark Vaughn and Dr. Gwen Vaughn.
And here we are live for you right now on YouTube. Dr. Mark Vaughn. In fact, we can even show you how it's spelled.
And I'm Dr. Gwen Vaughn. There it is.
Dr. Mark Vaughn and Dr. Gwen Vaughn coming at you from Auburn, California to tell you all about the cure for the common cold. That's what we're talking about.
Oh,
I don't
awesome.
remember how we... Oh, yeah, I think we were doing something on Google about health news or...
Yes, right.
And that's where the topic came from. Nobody sent us in a specific request, so we went with cure for the common
Still
cold.
waiting for this.
Oh, I remember what it was now. There was this article that was about the usefulness of
Phenylephrine, right?
phenylephrine being taken away as a single ingredient medicine. I guess it's still being combos.
Which is kind of interesting. So, yeah, this has been news over the past couple weeks. It's come out that research shows phenylephrine doesn't do anything. So it's been in these medications. Usually it's the one that says PE on it or says decongestant. Right. That's not behind the counter. The one that's behind the counter is usually Sudafed or pseudoephedrine. But phenylephrine is the one that you can't turn into meth. That's
or at least not as easily anyway.
Yeah.
So we need to define some terms here. Prescription, over the counter, behind the counter, and controlled substance.
Boy, I just spouted all that out without...
These are all different categories. So a controlled substance needs a very special process of prescribing it because it can cause problems. It's either harmful to patients or can be a problem with addiction. So this would be like opiates and benzodiazepines. Right. Those are controlled substances. There's also controlled substances we can't prescribe. They're in a class that there is no federally allowed use for it right now, like LSD and psilocybin.
Yeah.
Even though some states...
DMA, well, that is ecstasy.
So, so that's controlled substances. And then you've got prescription. So that's anything the doctor writes a prescription for, but you can't get without that prescription. Yep. And then there's over-the-counter. That's stuff you can just go and buy. And then there's behind the counter.
Take as much as you want. Because it's over the counter. It's safe,
right? It must
be
safe, right? Oh, boy. So don't take as much as you want of anything. Might be dangerous. And then there's behind the counter. And these are, I remember when I first discovered this whole behind the counter phenomenon, I was already a doctor. And I wanted to get something that had pseudoephedrine in it for the decongestant.
Yeah.
And I had to go up to the pharmacist counter.
And say, I want that one.
Say that I wanted it. Show my driver's license, and it got written down in some kind of a log.
Now they scan it, like the little like thing on the back. I mean, like how would I know that?
Like when you go to the concert?
I buy Sudafed every once in a while. Yeah, same thing.
So
I've never bought phenylephrine. I've actually always bought Sudafed for that reason, because we've known for a long time it's not that effective. But, but Sudafed works. It's just it can raise your blood pressure and has some other side effects to look out.
And you can make meth out of it. Woo-hoo.
And you can make meth out of it.
Home kitchen cooking project. So the products with a D after them, your antihistamines with a D, your Allegra D, Claritin D,
Zyrtec D,
Mucinex D, cold medicine with a D. The D stands for a decongestant, and that decongestant is a behind-the-counter pseudoephedrine.
Yeah.
It's not real ephedrine, it's pseudoephedrine.
I get it. That's what it's called.
But it does have a lot of the effects of ephedrine without actually being ephedrine. Ephedrine is a very, very potent stimulant that we actually use in people who are having a blood pressure in the ICU dropping to nothing. You'll give them something like ephedrine, dopamine, epinephrine. Anyway, different combinations of these. So this medicine actually is a decongestant, but I find myself in my interaction with the D medicines or pseudoephedrine, the effective decongestant, taking away the congestion of your nose and nasal passages, I find myself more often telling people not to take it than to take it. Like they'll come in with these, looks like their blood pressure's controlled. Whoa!
Until...
Why is your systolic 180 today?
Yeah.
oh, I took some cold. No, they don't tell you that cold medicine. You happen to think to ask it, or you happen to see that your great MA was on it, and they ask them about any other medicines that you're taking, and you see, why are they taking that thing with a D after it?
Right.
And that's what it is.
Yeah, and I mean, for the most part, I've only taken it for, a short cold where my nose is dripping and I can't see the next patient, so I take some Sudafed. Works great for that. There are some people who have these nasal drainage that's persistent, that is maybe an allergy thing or some sort of sensitivity that they will take an antihistamine with a decongestant like Allegra D or Zyrtec D. And that's where we really run into problems, because Sudafed is not a medication you should be taking every day.
Please.
It really can run into a problem. Now you may ask, okay, you guys started this out talking about phenylephrine. Why are you talking about Sudafed now? Well, Sudafed's effective. It can be. But again, only for short bursts, whereas phenylephrine, not effective at all. So you may have seen anything with the words PE after it. PE stands for phenylephrine. And all of those, well, not all of them, no. All the just PE have been taken off the counter, but it's still in a lot of your medications, like your NyQuil.
It's
NyQuil has it.
Yeah.
A lot of those combo things that say, cold symptoms, severe cold, a lot of that. The decongestant that they put in there, especially during the day, is phenylephrine, which we know doesn't do much. So I would imagine the way this is going, it will not be long before those will be removed from those products as well.
And PPP is no longer out there. Phenylpropanolamine, which is really fun to say,
I
by
don't
the way.
even know what that is.
Because you weren't even out of medical school yet when it was taken away. Too many strokes.
Strokes aren't good.
And it was another ingredient that was used as a decongestant in over-the-counter preparations.
Wow.
Let's get some ketchup with our...
Ketchup and mustard.
Ketchup with you, our people who are commenting live on YouTube, before we move on to other aspects of curing the common cold. So we have a new name out there. This is Divine.
Hey, that's what you wrote.
So it goes on and on. Divine.
It's a longer name than just Divine.
So Divine is. I was welcoming her to the program. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, Divine. Where
you had a note somewhere, Divine.
It must have happened before I turned on the Ninja Chat.
From New Orleans. There we go.
Okay, so let's instead jump ahead to Lindsay Antwine, who feels like it's been forever because I was on vacation last week. I took a vacation. I was gone for one show. Thank you for letting me go. Sorry, Lindsay.
Every once in a while, we let you.
It was great. It was great.
You for a weekend.
Discovered 2 new bands on vacation.
That's right.
One, Travolta with 2 L's. I recommend them. They're on Spotify. And the other one was Thumpasaurus, a great funk band, by the way. Wonderful live. If you get a chance, and if you do, it'll probably be in a dark basement with not an elevated stage.
Just right in front of you. Sweet.
And it might smell in there too. But they are really fun. Okay, moving on. Divine Spirits Tacos Girl Messages TV is from New Orleans. Hi, welcome.
Tacos. That's like
and Tammy Martin also
Taco Cat Goat Cheese
hi,
Pizza, which is a great game. So my kids like playing that one.
Divine Spirits Taco Girl Messages TV says the doctor next to you is hot. She must be talking to me about you. Oh, maybe she's, it could be Francis. We're not
Francis.
Sure. Hello from South Carolina, Pamela Klein. Hi, Pamela.
South Carolina.
And Lindsay, I've been told I shouldn't take those decongestant meds because of my anxiety.
Yet another reason.
Yes. Yes, you hit it, Lindsay. Anything that's a stimulant, essentially. Even caffeine can aggravate anxiety.
Yeah.
Cocaine, you should avoid
don't
that.
Take that.
It'll aggravate your anxiety. Yeah. Meth, yeah. It's actually bad for anxiety. So.
John Edge. Feel like I'm coming out of my skin.
Are you a tweaker? All right. Yahtzee. Hi, doctors. Yes, Yahtzee.
Yahtzee.
Lindsay's telling me I should buy that guitar. Do you know the guitar she's talking about?
I saw the picture on the
her little icon
socials
there
media
is of a it looks like a red Strat.
It was
the white.
Was it purple?
Pickguard, but this thing was red wine. With this maple flare. You can see through the wine colored finish. Les Paul, Supreme Les Paul, at the Gibson Garage in Nashville. That's kind of their flagship store for Gibson products, and it was beautiful. But $4,000 for a guitar when I can barely play a song with some chords would be not the right allocation of funds.
Oh yeah. I was gonna say, are we doing that guitar justice?
What's that, guitar justice?
Like you could, I mean, like a guitar like that is meant to be played probably in front of somebody somewhere.
Yes.
With an audience.
Yes, I 100% agree. So I'll stick with the old Fender Squire and
Sweet.
like you've seen on the show.
Yeah.
And maybe, if I am playing before, if instead, how many people are watching? How many people are watching here? Does it tell me?
Don't offend them. We want them to come back.
So if all of you people, we know how many people are in the chat. So if I get more people in the chat and I play a song again, maybe it'll justify something like
the
this.
fentanyl
But
song.
thank you for
Check
mentioning
that one out.
The fentanyl. When we sang about fentanyl. Oh,
Yeah.
man. Thank you, Lindsay, for that comment. And then, it's been a minute since Dr. G has been told he's hot. Oh, so it's time again. It's that time in the show.
We don't know. It's been a minute.
I was going to say we don't know. It's Dr. G.
I was just going to say, she did not clarify which doctor she was talking to.
She was talking to me about you.
Or it could have been to me about you.
If it was me, they would have said Silver Fox.
That's right.
Hilda Bauer. My grandmother said as a child in the early 1900s, the cure for a cold, here it is, was sugar on a sliced onion. Then drink the juice. Yuck. The juice. The juice.
Do you run it through a juicer?
The cure was sugar on a sliced onion.
So
I guess you don't eat the onion.
The sugar.
You make juice out of
the juice.
The sliced onion.
Well, there
sugar
you go.
So you apply the sugar first. No. First you slice the onion because then it's a sliced onion. Then put the sugar on and somehow you get a juice out of it.
And then you're crying because it's a chopped up onion. And that's the juice. It's your tears.
And Lindsay, for my money, both quality. Oh, for both of us.
Both qualify.
Both qualify. Thank you for being able to read. The sugar would draw out the juice of onion juice.
That sounds delicious. I guess, no. I'm trying to say the sugar would help with some of the flavor, but...
I'd try it.
I don't think so.
I'd try it.
There are worse things out there.
I'd try it.
Yeah. I mean, I've had a Red Bull. It could be worse than that.
That's kind of what I was thinking. I've tried things I'm sure would be worse. So, that's...
All right, anyways.
So back to where we left off.
Common cold.
We'd covered...
Sudafed.
Cure.
Decongestants.
We were just talking about addressing symptoms. We haven't talked about the cure.
The cure.
Do you want to talk more about symptom management?
So what have we talked about? Decongestants for nasal congestion and nasal
So there's
discharge.
mucolytics like guaifenicin. We don't think it does much.
Guaifenicin,
There's
Mucinex,
cough suppressants like
dextromethorphan.
DM.
That works fairly well. It can help out with the cough.
Some people still, even in this age, I don't know how it's still happening, but even still are, actually I can't say this. I've not experienced it, but I'm sure it's happening. Still requesting codeine for a cough. That probably happens
pretty
somewhere.
rare.
I would
Pretty rare.
guess.
Yeah.
In our office,
codeine is not.
I haven't heard that in a long time.
Yeah.
I actually remember in the early 2000s, there was a cough medicine made with hydrocodone. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah. So all of the opiates are a cough suppressant, but it seems that the
They also
dextromethorphan
suppress breathing. Strange.
it seems that the dextromethorphan is as effective, if not more, without being a controlled substance.
Yeah. Without the side effects of codeine
And
giving
I
you
think it probably acts through the
constipation.
same mechanism, actually.
Actually, I couldn't
not
tell
sure
you.
on that.
I don't know that.
So from our office, it's, hey, if you want something, take something with a DM after it. I personally have an experience that leads me to always recommend Mucinex DM, and I'll describe what that is. I wish it was when the company wrote me a check telling me to. That's what I wish the reason was. No, the real reason was I asked my wife to go to the store and get something with the same ingredients as Mucinex DM.
Yeah.
And she came back with something with the same ingredients, but there was no other product, at least at that time, that had the 12-hour gigantic
Extended
course
release.
pills
Yeah, those things are huge.
that whatever effect you're getting from it would last you through the whole night of sleep.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're getting something that's shorter acting in a pill or a syrup that you pour, you're repouring that thing every 4 hours, waking up in the middle of the night. So
Yeah.
that's why the name brand Mucinex, I rarely mention a brand name. That's one of them. I used to
Yeah.
mention Metamucil. I don't anymore because of the lead content,
Yep.
according to consumerlab.com. So that's about it for brand name things
Yeah,
that I
I'm trying to think
recommend.
what else we treat.
Most of the time, I just mention a generic name for things.
Yeah. The cold. So yeah, your symptoms of congestion, cough,
Yeah, maybe a DM. People call asking for something, and so
maybe a mild fever,
we
Tylenol.
say, yeah, there you go. Tylenol if you feel,
aches.
if you have a fever. So when we say cold, now we have more than just colds. Now people are aware that influenza is something unto itself. People
Yep.
are aware that coronavirus is a thing.
Super cold.
People are aware of RSV. These are all things we used to call a cold, and still can refer to them as that.
There are a lot of other viruses out there, rhinovirus, other
Adenovirus,
coronaviruses, adenoviruses.
Paramyxovirus.
All of them give this
Parainfluenza
constellation of symptoms for upper respiratory, meaning not involving the lungs, upper respiratory symptoms, which can involve cough, mucus production, nasal drainage, nasal congestion, ear pain, even
Sore
sinus
throat.
pain, sinus congestion. All of those things are part of a cold
You can get body aches and fever.
sometimes.
Yeah. So I'm going to be a little more free with the media supporting us with this message of those
What?
pain or
Yeah.
the symptom relievers really don't do much.
Yep.
It gives us a little more ammo, a little more support to go ahead and tell people, here's what you do. You rest,
Give it time. Stay hydrated.
drink lots of fluids, get good nutrition, not trash, good
Yep.
nutrition,
Try to
and
get
stay
sleep.
away from others so you're not giving the cold to
And
everybody
don't
else.
pass it around.
Yeah.
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 Do you need to go see your doctor?
Maybe wear a mask if you do go in public.
You don't necessarily
about
need to
that?
see your doctor. No, not for
See
a
your
cold.
doctor?
If you start to get shortness of breath
if you're not
or
having problems
like a
with it.
severe cough that is so bad that you can't do anything. You have a high fever. Maybe those are reasons. You have a sore throat. That may be
Yeah.
like a strep throat. That's
If you
not.
feel some distress, get seen.
Those would be reasons too.
If you
but,
say-
but just like, I can still go about my day. Got a little bit of runny nose. Got a slight cough. It's just a cold.
There you go.
Take
Don't-
it easy.
Yeah. In these days, we would probably recommend doing a home COVID test.
Yeah, could be that.
Yeah. And we do have a quadruple virus tester here that we'll be doing this year on patients who come in with
That's
any of those
crazy.
respiratory symptoms we talked about. They'll check for influenza A, influenza B. Yes, 2 different classes of influenza viruses, RSV and COVID, all in a single test that
Yeah.
is very accurate. It's as accurate as the one you're going to do if you get sent off. We have it right here in the office. All right, let's get caught up with more comments. Let's see what we have here. We also have
Back to the onion
Lindsay.
juice.
So, what are the anxious narcotics
Neurotics.
supposed to do? Anxious neurotic. Oh, she's talking about the patients, not the drugs.
So really all we're using those medications are for our nasal congestion. That nasal congestion typically can be annoying, but it's not going to be the worst thing out there. So you can use nasal sprays, but you've got to be very careful with those.
Don't use them.
So the one I'm talking about specifically that you don't want to use any more than 3 days is Afrin, which works great. But because it works so great, you can sometimes get addicted to it. So very, 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 very rarely I will recommend.
Just don't.
Just
deal with congestion for a
if
while.
your congestion is so bad that you're unable to breathe,
Just
and
suck it up. Oh wait, they can't.
They are snorting it up.
They can't.
No.
Yeah. Never mind.
You could also use some of those other ones like the nasal steroids, but those aren't really good for short-term relief. Those are more for long-term allergic type congestion and things like that. That would be like Flonase or Nasonex.
So yeah. So the next thing we would move on to is cure, actual cure. Yeah, there isn't one. So what are some other things that have been thrown around, floated? Vitamin C.
All those preventive things. You
Zicam.
know, if I take my
No, people use them for treatment.
Oh yeah, as soon as you get that tickle,
Zicam.
shove that thing up your nose and put that Zicam in there. No. The research does not bear out.
No,
Unfortunately.
no.
I wish there was something, but no.
Yeah, when people who actually work in the health industry and have access to the literature and they use those things. So, yeah,
Interesting.
anecdotes are powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah, more powerful than reason. So that's our message to free you up, to not feel like you have to send somebody out to the drugstore or go yourself to pick something up that's not going to help, and uses money you could have used to get on Patreon for the Auburn Medical Group. You could have spent that money on Patreon.
For the price of phenylephrine
For the
near
price
you,
of a phenylephrine.
you can become a member.
For a child in another country who doesn't
Oh my goodness.
get phenylephrine. Not the child. Did I say the price of the child?
I don't know.
I'm sorry.
Rewind the tape and play.
That's not what I meant. For feeding. Okay,
Oh my
maybe
goodness.
maybe there actually are better places they can send their money. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So,
Yep.
there you go.
That's what we have for today's show. We thank you for joining us. And actually, if you get a kick out of us and you do want to have your name associated with this, you can actually get on Patreon and we'll put your name on the thing. But do you have anything interesting going on this week you wanted to share with YouTube world out there?
Not really.
Okay. I really do appreciate the audience. I appreciate the people who comment in, people like Lindsay Antwine and Hilda and Yahtzee and Pamela Klein and Divine Spirits, Tacos, Girls, Messages TV.
Taco, cat, goat, cheese,
Thank-
pizza.
Thank you. Until next time,
I'm Dr. Wayne Vaughn.
Dr. Mark Vaughn telling all of you to stay in good health.
Doctors, thank you for another informative session. Auburn Medical Group is located in Auburn, California, USA. Thank you for participating. Please tell a friend and join us again next week.